All right, collective, let's get into a reading. So I got a download that some of you are about to experience major changes. And I was asking why. Why are there going to be major changes? And the Tower had come out. So anything in your life that is not stable, that is not built on a foundation that is stable, will be crumbling. So let's say that this is a job where you know it's been time for you to leave. You know that. You've just chosen not to leave. Well, Spirit's about to take your little butt right out of there. Let's say that this is a relationship where the foundation, it's been rocky. It's got cracks in it left and right. This could be something happening where you can no longer ignore it. This is the moment where Spirit's saying, okay, you keep staying in the wrong relationship, so I'm about to show you why the hell it's time for you to get out. And they're going to make something happen to where there is no turning back, okay? Now, I'm saying as these changes are taking place, I see a lot of sadness and disappointment. So let's be honest, let's be real. Changes are not easy to go through. When we go through breakups where we know it might be a breakup that's meant for us, where we know that we were with someone that was not long-term for us, it doesn't mean that it ain't gonna hurt. It's still gonna hurt. You're still gonna be sad. You're still gonna be disappointed. You're still gonna grieve. You're gonna grieve the life you thought you were gonna have. You're gonna grieve what life was. You're gonna grieve the fact that you'll never get to experience that person the way that you have been experiencing them. But let's be honest, let's be real. The foundation was cracked because it wasn't solid. You know the song, when the bones are good, the rest don't matter. Well, a lot of these things, the bones were not good. Okay, these could be relationships where they were imbalanced, where you were putting in more. These could be friendships where you're realizing, okay, I've dropped the ball. I've not reached out to you. I've not texted you. And we've never spoke again because of it. That's what I'm saying. And there could be sadness. I'm really sad because I thought we were friends, but what I thought and what we are two different things. So I see a lot of things coming to an end. I see a lot of changes. I see a lot of things coming that's shocking. I would have never thought that this was going to happen. I didn't see this coming, kind of thing. And I see you being sad. This could be a car that you love, the engine blows up. This could be a car that you love. You go into Walmart, you come back out, baby, that car's wrecked now. Somebody did some stuff and you were like, what the hell happened while I was in there? I see you being sad. I see you being disappointed. And I ask Spirit, but what do you need to know? What's going to help you get through these changes and everything that's crumbling and the foundations that are not long lasting being ripped from you? They said, well, what's going to help you is you seeing this through a logical perspective. Sometimes in life, we stay in places because we have an emotional attachment, okay? So that can mean I love them, but they don't treat me the same way. Well, our emotional attachment to something will have us staying when we're not being respected, valued, or loved. This could be you looking at it from a practical perspective. Well, if he or she loved me, they would have treated me with respect. If he or she loved me, they wouldn't treat me this way to where I have to leave. A lot of you are starting to get to a place where you're tired of demanding. I'm not going to tell you how to treat me. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't cheat on me and that I think that this is a deal breaker. I feel like it's just kind of common damn sense. That's what I'm saying. Now, whatever this is, it's going to send you through a season of self-reflection. Where do I want to go? What does my new beginning look like? Why is this happening? So this could be you getting truth on why you and this person are breaking up, why it wasn't long lasting, what part you had in it, what red flags you overlooked, or what red flags you were willing to tolerate. This could also be a job. You could be finding out that your job is closing the doors, that you're getting fired, that they're getting rid of you. You could be getting demoted. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a reading of bad news. It's like, hey, heads up, bad news is coming, okay? Don't get stuck in the bad news. Yeah, bad news is coming. Yeah, you're going to be sad. You're probably going to be grieving. You're going to be heartbroken. I loved that job. That job was my stability. I can't afford to eat. But look at it from a practical and logical perspective. Okay, yeah, you loved that job. Did you though? Because yesterday you were bitching about Barbara. The other day you were fussing how your manager, Mark, was incompetent and you don't even know how the hell he become a manager. Get truth, get clarity. And also recognize that this is opening you up for a new beginning. Rejection is protection. Spirit does not take things from us because they want to be a bully. Spirit does not put us through moments of hardship and instability because they want to be a bully. They do it because there's something in it that you're supposed to learn, something in it that's going to evolve you, and there's a purpose, okay? There is somewhere you're meant to go. So they want you to do self-reflection on your new beginning, where you're going, why you want to go there. What is this? Could be a person. Could be a person. Can you tell me why all of this is crumbling? 7 of Cups. Because there's too much confusion, too much illusion, or too many options, and nothing's being picked. So, this could be someone you've been entertaining where they're deliberately not choosing you. So Spirit's going to make it to where this person can no longer choose you. Okay, you've had access to so-and-so for 7 weeks or 7 months. You've had access to them, and you got to decide whether or not you wanted to take them and what they were offering serious. This person didn't take you serious. This job didn't take you serious. This could be a job that told you, okay, we're going to call you in 7 days. It's 7 weeks later. 7 weeks later. They might be thinking about how they're going to call you. It could even be putting you in a sense of panic because you need that job. But what you don't know is that Spirit is getting a little annoyed. You're not meant to be put on layaway. Okay? And if somebody can't clear out some confusion or illusion, something needs to happen. If this is a business, if a business needs someone to work there, but they can't pick someone till 7 weeks later, what does that say about the business? Well, it sounds like that they don't have a good structure at that business. It also sounds like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. When you see a red flag, you need to run, okay? Let me give you a quick example. I went for a job interview years ago. I sat at that job interview for an hour and a half. An hour and a half, I sat there waiting for a manager. After an hour and a half, I walked out. The manager caught me at the front and she said, hey, I'm coming in there. I said, no, I'm done. I have sat here for an hour and a half. I have come on time. I have been patient. I have done everything I've needed to do. And you guys you've made me wait here for an hour and a half, and now you're ready. Well, I had issues. I get that. But you've wasted my time. I feel disrespected. And I feel like, to be quite blunt with you, I don't want to work here no more. Because if you can't even keep together your interviews or be able to manage your time in a way where everyone else isn't being fucked over, we got to figure out how to run our business a little bit better. Okay, we need better communication. We need better managers. We need people that know what the fuck they're doing. She got really mad at me. But somebody ended up coming up to me later and said, that's a good idea because this place ain't that great to work. Okay, and I looked at the person and said, why do you say that? And they said, the communication here is trash. That was my red flag. There was so much confusion and illusion. All I knew is, okay, they're in the middle of something. Okay. And, it's been an hour and a half. I got here early. So actually, I've been here for 2 hours. Waiting. Yeah, I get it. They had a conflict. They had an issue. But sometimes in life, it is disrespectful as to not consider other people. Whether you're the boss of a company, CEO, manager, friend, lover, child. Considering others is not a bad habit to have. It's a good habit to have. And I'm saying that there could have been multiple scenarios in your life where there was a lot of confusion, illusion, or options, and nothing was ever pinpointed down. So Spirit is saying, no, we're done. We're done. This opportunity is no longer on the table. This could be a company wanting to call you after 7 weeks and tell you that they have a job for you. Maybe they hired 5 other people. Those 5 other people either didn't show up or showed up and quit the next day. Now they want to call you. But this could be Spirit getting in the way, okay? That foundation is faulty as... It's faulty as... So you might not know that this person's looking for your resume, looking for your application. Tower moment, somebody threw it away. We don't have it anymore. It could even put this company or this manager in a panic. I really wanted to call so-and-so. They were the next best. Oh my God, I remember them. They were so charismatic. I loved them. It doesn't matter though. Because at the end of the day, they didn't handle this the way that they needed to handle it. So Spirit come in and said, this is a faulty foundation. You guys are hiring everybody and their mother. Y'all obviously don't know what the hell you're doing. So we're going to take the one that would have stayed 5 people ago, and they're done. You don't get access to them. And some of you could be questioning, why is it I keep hearing that they're hiring people, but they never tried to hire me? Because you ain't meant to be there, baby. You were not meant to be there. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. Now, you could be in a place of, I'm really sad, I'm really disappointed, Daniel, I need a job, I would take what I could get. It's easier to say that you would take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers until you know what the hell you begging for. And what I'm saying is that this would be a situation where you wouldn't last there anyways, because it isn't what it seems to be. So this could be the kind of company where they're really hard to work for, which is why they can't keep nobody, okay? Like that job I just told you about. Everyone I know that works there no longer works there. Why? Because like I said, they're inconsiderate. If you don't, as a manager or a business owner, you got to respect others to get that respect, okay? Treat people how you want to be treated. And if you're going to treat your employees like they're nothing more than a number, that's what you're going to get, okay? Period. So if you don't respect them, if you don't try to communicate with them and consider them and say, okay, listen, I know you've been sitting here for 20 minutes. Would you like to reschedule? Maybe we should feed you while you wait. There are ways to handle a situation that shows, hey, listen, I'm in the weeds over here. I'm having a hard time, but I've not forgotten. That's what I'm saying here, okay? That's what I'm saying. But this could be the same job or same people who are going to have to learn the lesson the hard way. And I'm saying that Spirit is asking you to do a lot of self-reflection on what your new beginning looks like. Because like I said, the example I gave for me, I could have worked there. But I know me enough to know that when I'm there for a job interview, which is when people are on their best behavior, when you're at a job interview, the managers are on their best behavior. The people behind the front desk are on their best behavior. The person coming in for the job interview on their best behavior. If we can't get our shit together when we're supposed to be on our best behavior, imagine how bad it is behind the scenes. And I was right, baby. It was chaotic. That was my red flag. As I sat there, I did self-reflection and said, oh, the truth is that this is a cluster and I'm not interested. And I walked my booty right back out. And I went back to the drawing board and was like, that ain't the place for me. Period. That's what I'm saying, but for you, okay? I'm saying that something's going to happen here coming up where something you want is not going to be given to you or is going to be taken from you because the foundation is not stable. It's not solid. It is not meant for you. And you might have a hard time explaining what you're feeling, what you're thinking. It could be a literal person that's not meant for you. But I see you ultimately being like saved. Spirit's going to save you. Yeah. Because here's the thing. It isn't that you don't have strength and courage. It's that this is not your battle to fight. That's what I'm saying. There could be someone thinking about reaching out to you, but they're scared to reach out to you. Just so you know. Okay, give me more for the foundations that are crumbling in your life. Here coming up, you might feel weak, tired, like you don't have strength. So you know how sometimes we'll feel really strong and like in charge of our life, and other times we feel drained and like we're just ready to crawl in a corner and be done. I see that during this season of Spirit, I understand you have a plan, but I don't know what the plan is. Why is it as soon as I think I'm going to get something, I don't get it? Why is it I feel like I'm wasting my time? Why is it as soon as I think I met the man or the woman for me, you show me that they're 100% not for me? Because these are not battles you're meant to fight. But I'm definitely seeing here coming up, you might feel the need to like, I want to get in a corner and just crawl up like a dog and sleep. Leave me alone. Don't mess with me. You might feel like you don't have a lot of strength. You might feel like you're really tired, depleted. Like, I don't want to be the strong one today. I'm tired. Thank you, though. So I definitely see that whatever these changes are and these foundations that are going to crumble, it's going to affect you. It's going to make you really sleepy, really tired. Now, again, let's say that there was a job where you put in an application and you've heard through the grapevine, maybe you have a friend that works there or a family member, that they keep hiring people, but you never got hired. It could feel very depleting that you never got hired. Now, what you might not know is that they had intentions of hiring you or calling out to you, but they can't find your information. which is spirit protecting you. It's also a foundation that you had started putting in effort into that is completely crumbling, and you don't understand why. How can a foundation crumble when it's not even fully formed? Well, because there's something better for you in the future. There's something better for you in the future. They want you to continue to look towards your future as all of this starts taking place. Yeah, you're going to get communication around all of this. Some of you, there's a foundation that's about to crumble. This could be you losing your job, being laid off. It's going to be at the most inconvenient time. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. This could be around the holidays. And I see you maybe being depressed, being really sad, doing some soul searching, getting some clarity, figuring out what your next steps are. But I also see that you could find out communication that's going to make you glad that you got out of there when you did. So this could be a job laying you off. But what you might not know is that they're laying you off because they're on the verge of bankruptcy. They're on the verge of closing their doors. And in 5 months to 8 months after they lay you off, you're going to hear, hey, we closed the doors. That company's no longer existing. You're going to get communication that you were glad, or that you are glad that you were able to start looking into your future and start planning your future instead of waiting for the ball to drop. Because I don't think there's anything worse than working a job and departments just closing right behind one another. It's like, okay, I know my days are numbered, but how many? That's what I'm saying with you. And you could get some sort of communication that something crumbled, but that you were protected from it. So there could even be foundations that are going to crumble that you're not even going to fully experience. So again, it's giving the energy of you were laid off, you were fired, you were removed from a corporation, you were removed from something, but it ends up completely crumbling altogether. I'm also seeing that someone doesn't like your confidence. So if you've applied for a job, or if this is a lover, someone here doesn't like your confidence. They see it as something that needs to be conquered, that needs to be taken down. So this could be a job that wants you to do what you're meant to do. Don't do more, don't do less. I don't need your opinions. I don't need your ideas. Stay within your pay grade. They don't like how confident you are to speak your thoughts and your feelings. You might even be the kind of person where you're like, okay, Brad, manager Brad, I gave you an idea and you didn't take it. So I'm going to go call the owner and I'm going to tell him or her. They don't like that. They don't like that you're confident enough to say, listen to me or I'll find someone who will. And it really brings out their wounded side where they feel like they need to overcome you. You're a challenge that I'm going to need to solve. So this could be a manager that you're going to start noticing they don't like it. Oh yeah, you really cocky at that job. Don't you think you the shit, don't you? You are the shit. Okay. So stay with that confidence. That person might not like it. Now, this could also be a lover. This could be a lover who equally admires your confidence, your strength, your abundance, but also loathes it and feels like it's something that needs to be minimized. So this could be the kind of lover that when they first got with you, they were, oh, that's my man, that's my man, that's my girl, she a badass. But that could be the same person that started realizing how much they didn't like that version of you and that it was something that they needed to simmer down. I know you a bad bitch, but you be a badder bitch cooking me a sandwich. No, you don't need to work. You could realize then, okay, that's your wounded side. You seen me as something that you wanted to win, but now you see me as something that you want to overcome, but in the worst way. You liked my confidence. Now you want to be the reason I have confidence or I don't. It's like they might want to control you because there's a wounded side of them that's recognizing you're something I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to be. So maybe their confidence is fake. Your confidence is true. And they know that, because let's be honest, real can recognize real. So if somebody's out here faking confidence, baby, it's going to come out, okay? And this person might not like that yours isn't fake. There's nothing about you that's fake. They know that. They like that. But it's also something that needs to be like overcome, is how they view you. That could be another foundation that's crumbling. So for some of you, that could be your confirmation of why a foundation is crumbling. Somebody could be equally they could equally admire you, but also feel like there's something about you that if they could change it, they would, to be honest with you. And that's the wounded side of them. That's the wounded warrior. So this could be maybe a partner that doesn't like that you're more successful than them. Maybe this is a manager who, maybe you're more qualified for the position that they have. You're confident on that. Maybe you're the kind of person where you give them wisdom and knowledge. You don't tell them how to do their job, but you kind of help them. They don't like that. This is my job. Don't tell me what to do. But you could be the kind of personality where you're like, yeah, but let's be honest, if I would have applied for it, I would have got it. So, okay, humble yourself. That's this person. That's this manager. You're a threat. I don't like your cockiness. I don't like that you think you could have got my job if you applied for it. Baby, facts just be facts. That's what I'm saying. Confidence. Baby, I'm confident. I would have got it. So don't get it twisted. Yeah, but this person don't like that. And that's that 5 of Swords. So this might be the manager that's going to start trying to push you out. This could be the lover that's going to start trying to get control. And some of you deep down, you know that this person's that way. So if you ignore red flags, Spirit's going to have to come in and crumble this foundation before it gets too much power over you. That's what I'm saying, okay? So be careful with that. Be careful of giving people more power in your life than they deserve, okay? If someone does not value you, cherish you, and love you authentically, should they be able to ruin your evening, take over your brain? I have a rule in my house that unless you're one of the close people to me, when I come in my house, you stay outside. And I mean that in the physical form and the energetic form, okay? If I don't fucks with you in any way, shape, or form, if you ain't my homie, if you ain't close to me, then you're not allowed in my home in any way, shape, or form. Not in my mental space, not talking about you, and definitely not your body. When I'm in my home, I'm in my peace, my peace place, okay? And that's what I'm saying here with you. It's an energy of make your home your peace, and do not let any of these people dictate whether or not you're having a good day or a bad day, whether or not these foundations crumbling are going to be the reason you cry over the next few months. Spirit is getting the things out of your way that can no longer go towards your new life. A lot of you've been asking for a new path, a new way of life, a new journey. But in order to get to that, you have to sacrifice the old, the stuff that's not working. So if you want genuine connections, that means Spirit's got to take the relationships that aren't genuine. So those friends that are your friends, but they're not really your friends, they just want to do what you do. They just want to know what you're up to. They want to compete and compare. You can tell the difference between a genuine friend and a not genuine friend. Same for a lover. If a lover's quick to build you up to then tear you down, baby, that's a red flag. And I'm definitely seeing a lot of you, you're getting stripped from ingenuine. Is it ingenuine? You're getting stripped from relationships that are not genuine. So I'm definitely saying you don't see a lot of this happening. I'm seeing a lot of fighting. I'm seeing a lot of disagreements. I'm seeing a lot of drama. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. You could hear coming up, question what's people's problem. Again, let's say you go to work and you know your manager don't focus with you. You don't know why they don't like you. You can't see why they don't like you, but maybe they start arguments out of nowhere. Maybe you told them I can only work day shift, yet you go in and your schedule's night shift and you're like, okay, wait a second now. You trying to start conflict. Yeah, they are. They are. There could be someone trying to push you out of a position. Some of you, you're like a chairman on a committee or something of that sort, and someone could be trying to like push you out or make it seem like you're not fitted for that position. And I'm saying that, and I'm seeing a lot of fighting that's about to take place. So some of you, there could be someone that's about to start a lot of unnecessary drama, and you don't see this happening to the world. Now, this could end up pushing you into completing a cycle, either removing yourself from this person, So let's say that this is like a manager that has it out for you at work. This might be the manager that makes you snap your shit, but also makes you go, okay, I'm out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm tired of working for a manager who's emotionally immature and who thinks that they run everything just because they're a glorified babysitter. Get the hell over yourself. That's what I'm saying, okay? And this could be the same manager that's going to start unnecessary conflict. Hey, I can't stay over tonight. I got to be at home for this. Yeah, well, if you want to keep a job, you got to stay over. Okay, well, guess what? You got to stay over because you're the manager, which means you got to pick up the slack. And baby, it's slacking right now because I got to go home. That might start conflict. That might be the same manager that's going to tell you, you walk out that door, you're not going to have a job. All right, babes, unemployment, here I come because you got me fucked all the way up. That person wants to push you out. That person wants to start drama. But that drama could be the reason you finally complete the cycle and give the middle finger and go, fuck you, I'm not coming back. How about that? How about them apples? That's what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, making a final decision to move on, to move forward. Doing reflection on what your next path is, feeling burdened, but knowing that you're going to win. And that, yeah, knowing that you're going to win. You're going to get what you want. This is nothing more than a setback or a speed bump. And then I'm saying that what's going to happen is whoever it is that you're going to have this fight with, there's going to be discontentment. Someone's not going to be satisfied. So let's say that you and a manager get into it and you end up walking out, or you decide, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this corporation. I'm done with this business. There could be someone above everyone that's going to be extremely discontent about this when they find out, hey, you know, so-and-so walked out. What do you mean they walked out? That person's not going to be happy. That person has the mindset of growth, and you walking out shows that growth's not happening. So that person, that manager, the person that's large and in charge might then go, okay, so what happened? You're telling me they randomly walked out on a shift. That's not who they are. Something had to happen. I need the details. Do I need to start pulling cameras? That's what I'm saying, because someone's not going to be happy with how you're being treated and what's taking place, okay? Now, this could also be like a mother figure, an older sister, a grandma. There could be someone that's going to kind of go to bat for you and take up for you, is what I'm saying, okay? So I think this is just your warning to plan for the future, because I'm definitely saying things that you thought were going to move, not moving. So you might think, okay, my future's with this person. A lot of things are going to change here coming up. Be willing to go through the changes. If there has been an unstable foundation, if there has been the thought of maybe this isn't my forever, that's going to be tested here coming up. And a lot of those things that you've thought in your mind, I don't know if this is my forever person. I don't know if I'm going to live here forever. I don't know if I'm going to keep this car forever. I don't know if this is my forever job. Those are going to be the things that are going to be challenged and shaken up. And for a lot of you, they're going to be shaken so hard that they're just going to fall off your plate completely. I'm also seeing a lot of things that you thought were in the process of moving, getting stuck up in the air. So let's say that you have applications out and okay, you're going to get it back within 2 to 3 weeks. Might take 5 to 6. You don't know what the hell's taking so long. You needed it quicker. I see a lot of things being stuck up in the air. Okay. I see a lot of things being stuck up in the air. But then I see you getting messages of truth and things starting to like move forward again. And then it's going to pick up speed. So as the foundations crumble and fall away, there's going to be a moment of, oh, that was crazy. That's what I'm saying. After about 6 weeks, you're going to start getting messages of truth. Hey, the truth is that wasn't your forever person. Now you can see it clearly. Maybe this would work better for you. Maybe you should go over here and work. Then it's going to pick up speed. So be aware that things will be stripped from you so new things can be put in their place. You could lose a job, leave a job, break up with someone, quit entertaining someone, lose a car, for then 6 days to 6 weeks later, things start shifting. By 8 days to 8 weeks, everything's completely different. So this could be, I walked out, I applied for unemployment, I got communication that I got it within 6 weeks, message of truth. by 8 weeks, you've done got communication that someone wants to hire you and it's moving very quickly. That could be you having a job interview on Monday. By Wednesday, you're doing the drug test and everything you need to do. By Friday, it's your first day. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I do see that Spirit's going to give you a moment to gather your footing, gather your footing, gather your thoughts. I don't know why I was struggling so bad. They're going to give you a moment to gather your thoughts, okay? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, they're going to give you a moment to gather your thoughts, gather your footing before the next step starts. I want you to grieve what you're losing. I want you to grieve what's no longer working out. I want you to understand what took place and then move forward. It's like you've got to go through your paperwork and put it up before you can go to the next one. If you've ever worked in an office, and maybe it's like a doctor's office or something like that, you know that each time you have a patient, you deal with their paperwork, you get everything done, and then you put it back. That's what I'm saying, okay? Some of you could work in a doctor's office or something like that. I'm saying like a hospital, like the records office. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it here. Bye, guys.